Hello everyone and welcome now to a game between Renegade versus Liquid Bisu here on Daybreak. We see Renegade is spawning as the red Zerg over here on the bottom left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Liquid Bisu spawning as the blue Protoss. Today a special day in terms of casting, not that any day isn't already special. Of course, every day is special. I will be casting one of every matchup that is not a mirror match. So I will be casting a Protoss versus Zerg, a Protoss versus Terran, and then a Zerg versus Terran to just try and get an overall feel of the status and get a good idea of what the metagame is as much as I can glean from one single game. Now, taking a look at what Bisu is doing, Bisu surprisingly not going for a Forge Fast expansion here. No Forge Fast expansion. And without a Forge Fast expansion, I am curious as to what his long-term economic goals will be. Now let's take a look back at what's going on over by Renegade. Renegade is currently just building up drones. Pretty standard build order. We should see a spawning pool or a hatchery come out shortly. I haven't seen an extractor pool opening in quite some time, as that seems to be not very popular as of late. Now, Bisu should be going for a gateway if he is going to be going for a forge, or if he is going for that near pylon, but it looks like Bisu may just be going for a fast nexus. No forge fast expansion though, as a spawning pool already coming in from Renegade. Now, the economic opening for Bisu, you can see that he's already queuing up 3 additional probes. He's going to get into 17/18. It looks like it will be a nexus first. And it also looks like Renegade will be able to scout out his opponent and perhaps make him or punish him for that very, very aggressive economic move. There you go, the pylon, or no pylon down here, just going to go straight up into a nexus. We should be perhaps be getting up a pylon soon, as the forge is actually being built closer to the mineral line. Alright, this particular build is confusing me right now. I'm not exactly sure what his overall strategy will be. The Overlord now comes in over here, sees that a pylon is coming in. Did the Overlord actually spot the nexus? No, it didn't. He could perhaps assume that it is there, but also one strange thing is that Bisu is just now going to be getting in his gateway. This one pylon is pretty far back away from these ramps here and here, so Renegade will have some room to maneuver here before trying to attack this front door. Alright, Overlord now dancing around. So far, Renegade is going into 1 queen. He should be training up a 2nd queen as well. Wait for that inject. There we go. There's the 2nd queen being trained. And now we should see a very, very high production value coming in from Renegade, as Renegade will be running on 2 bases with 2 queens. So far, the Zerglings are more being cautious than anything else, wanting to make sure that there are no proxy pylons for any, say, proxy cannon rushes. So far, an Overlord, gonna take a little bit of damage. Is it gonna have natural regeneration for the win? Yes, it will. The damage that it took mitigated by the fact that there was natural regeneration. Renegade getting very lucky and even giving a little bit of a smiley, knowing that he did get lucky there. Now, so far we are getting into that level 1 weapons upgrade. Cybernetics core is being added. No Stalker as of yet, or Zealot. So no units are on the field. And now Renegade pretty much has very strong control of the entire map and will be able to take an economic advantage shortly. Running on 3 bases with 2 queens. I am a bit surprised that more queens are not being trained right now. Normally Zerg players are going into that 5 or 6 queen strategy. That 6 queen strategy used for offense and defense. Queens very effective at both zealots and stalkers when they are on creep. Very fast movement speed. Should be able to lay down some creep tumors here as well, as we are going into our 3rd queen from Renegade. Now, Bisu opting to actually change things up. And did Renegade spot this? Yes, he did. So Renegade did spot these 3 gateways coming in at just the right time. He knows that there's going to be about another 60 seconds before these gateways are operational. And then with that warp gate timing being what it is, actually these gateways will complete well before the warp gate timing. So he may try to train out a round of stalkers beforehand. And we are seeing some additional pylons being placed down. Only 1 photon cannon on the front door, however. So far, one probe still slipping around. We'll see where he's going to be going next. Renegade still only utilizing 3 queens at this point for his defense. Finally going into a Roach Warren and hoping to use this 3 base with a strong economic advantage to catapult him into the mid-game. Now, yeah, I was curious about this earlier. Bisu has all of these gateways now upgrading the warp gates. I don't believe he actually trained anything from them. No, he didn't. We are now just going to be getting our first Stalker at this point in the game. And this is actually very late in the game as Renegade has flown in. There is also one Overlord off here, but Bisu, oh, he can spot this. So if all the Stalkers actually group together, they could perhaps get one final shot off on that Overlord in order to perhaps supply lock his opponent. Zealots, however, are now coming back over here and coming in with a very strong engagement. The Proxy Pylon now showing an even more Zealots warping in. The Zealots do have 1-0 upgrades, now going into 2-2 as the Queen now trying to finish off more of these units. The Zealots slicing through these Zerglings like a hot knife through butter and dealing a lot of damage just by eating through many of those larvae. We'll see what Renegade will be able to do next. A new round of roaches is going to be coming in as the Zealots attempt to finish off this one hatchery. So far, a new round of Zealots now coming in. The roaches do have a faster movement speed. They should be able to kite the Zealots pretty much the entire game since they do have superior range and movement speed when fighting on creep. The roaches are backing away. You can see Renegade getting off some free shots on some of these units here, and he's actually going to perhaps take down multiple Zealots as Bisu not keeping track. Multiple roaches have finished off multiple Zealots there. Let's take a look at the total losses. Total losses are about the same as Renegade now opting to go into an Overseer. So far, more gateways have been added here. A good number of sentries. A Blink now being added as well. So far, this Overlord still just regenerating hit points. More pylons in the backfield. And we'll see what Bisu's follow-up strategy will be. It looks like he's going to be going into a robotics facility. And perhaps with that robotics facility, a robotics bay for Colossi. Now, a Stalker just positioning themselves right there. Yes, does get the final shot off on that Overlord. The Overlord was not positioned in the right spot. You got to remember, turn on the Zerg or the Flyer, and you can see where exactly that unit is overhead. I thought I did turn it on. Nope, apparently I didn't. I need to take my own advice. Now, changelings are making their way across the map. Bisu is a little bit behind, 64 versus 53, but we do see a special tactic strategy come in from Bisu. I say special tactics as normally Protoss players do not utilize any drops whatsoever. That Warp Prism will be able to deploy units straight into the battlefield. You can see that Bisu has a very strong army here. Much higher in tech overall, and how much damage can it do? Warp Prism now in position. You're going to see Stalkers now warp in here as well, and how much damage can all of these roaches and Overseer hope to do here as the Stalkers are in position. Here we go, and now looking to take down some of these Spine Crawlers before they get operational. Roaches and Queens now trying to engage here. The Stalkers, engaging while on creep. Not a very smart move at all, as a Guardian Shield does come up. The Roaches are trying to run away. Many of them will get picked apart here, and now with an Observer here as well, creep tumors may get taken down. The Stalkers now looking to check on that front door. Gonna go ahead and finish off that Zergling here. Are they gonna be able to make it up the ramp and actually deal a fair amount of damage? Roaches are in position. The Roaches are upgraded 1-0. Stalkers are upgraded 2-0. And we'll see what will be happening next as Spine Crawlers do take 12 seconds to root and get in position. This could be very bad news as both sides are going to engage and fight. Now Roaches just moving straight in and now attempting to attack down, take down some of those Stalkers. Stalkers are blinking back and peeling away, maximizing how many shield points are destroyed here as we now see 114 versus 143. 5 more Roaches and 12 more Zerglings ready to engage. More Spine Crawlers being added here. Will they be able to root in time? One unrooted Spine Crawler as the Stalkers are able to smart blink up onto the high ground. That was a very smart move by Bisu as a force field now comes down on the ramp. Where are these Stalkers going to go? Yes, they are able to get up on the high ground here and now able to just trap all of those Roaches sitting here. It looks like the main layer will get taken down, and Bisu, who was behind for much of the game, will take the victory here with a smart blink up the ramp and a force field on the ramp off of the Warp Prism. And there is the GG by Renegade. Renegade losing to Bisu here. And I really like this style of play coming in from Bisu. It is an interesting tactic style as opposed to trying to go pure into late game. Renegade had pretty much everything going for him. He has what superior unit count. 151 versus 116. Bisu is still supply blocked, better harvester count, but there is no doubt in my mind that Bisu deserved the victory. Renegade did not do a premature GG. The layer would have been taken down, and then the roaches cannot get up that ramp, hence the GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this game between Renegade and Liquid Bisu.